You guys are sharks. Sometimes you make me nervous.
I'll start with a real easy question then, based on that. No sharks here. I don't know what you guys did during your break. Like, you just did push-ups the whole time and drank whatever that energy drink is. 'Cause you guys obviously came out looking super sharp tonight. We'll go left to right. You want to address how you guys came out?
Yeah. Well, I went to Maui, so that helped a lot. Where'd you go? You went home, eh?
I went home, yeah.
Yeah.
To the cold.
Same thing,
Yeah.
right?
Same climate.
No, I think we had a good couple practices, and we just came out with some jumps. So, not really sure what to tell you. We just played an all-around pretty good hockey game.
Yeah, I just think our schedule in January was such a grind. I think we played like pretty much every other day. So I think just the 4 or 5 days off did us a lot, and we kind of reset. And yeah, I liked our game tonight a lot.
Logan, felt like there was a lot of I don't know, open space out there to me. Passing was sharp, a lot of opportunities, like primo opportunities. Is that what it did feel like that out there too?
Yeah, I think it could have been really easy to kind of be rusty and blame it on that, but I thought we were really sharp. I think it started with our D and good exits, and then I thought our entries and were really good too. And definitely a lot of ozone time hemming them in, and it was kind of line after line. So it was really good to see.
Right, and again, like the sharpness level is still there from before. Is that? I mean, how does the coach talk about that as far as like keeping that momentum going despite having the week off like that?
I don't think he talks about it too much. I think it's just kind of something we expect. We had a good practice yesterday and get the kinks out, and then yeah, there were no excuses today, obviously, and I think we showed that.
And so you went home to the cold, you said?
I did. I went to Guelph, Ontario, so near Toronto, and definitely not warm. So I don't know if I'll be doing that next year, but we'll see.
Guelph, what a dream.
It's fun to say and fun to visit.
Yeah, it's good to see family. Say that. It's great to see them.
Maui sounds way better.
Maui was cool. Is this just for show, or is this like, do you want us?
Pick it up audio.
Oh, so do you want us to
Are
talk
we,
into it?
Are we
You
good?
guys are good.
Okay.
You guys are great.
Just double checking.
And then, Chris, talk about your night.
For sure.
Obviously, obviously you weren't being peppered with shots, but they had you had to make some nice saves. How did you feel about your game?
Yeah, felt pretty good. Those ones are kind of. It felt like honestly we were a little more even in the first, and had to make a couple in the first, and then the second and third, we spent a lot of time in their zone. So that's just kind of me trying to stay in the game, and then they'd come out with a chance where I had to be sharp. So those can be difficult, but just tried to stay in it, and was fortunate to keep them out.
Obviously, I think this is 9 straight games now where you guys have at least gotten the point. What's working now? I guess that wasn't working earlier in the season.
We're playing fast. We're well prepared, I think. And we talked about it a little bit earlier in the year when we went through a little bit of a lull. We didn't really have that swagger that was here last year, and I'm definitely seeing a little bit more of that, and that's kind of intangible, but it's kind of a chicken or the egg thing. Does the swagger come with the winning, or does the winning breed the swagger? It's hard to say, but yeah, I think we just are a confident bunch in there, and I know our last game against these guys, we go down 3-0 in the first, and then Henny scores a goal, and then we just score 4 unanswered to win it. So like when you have a team that's capable of doing that, it just kind of breeds confidence, and we kind of just take that into every night going forward.
You guys, you good?
Yeah.
You guys spend any time or do you have interest in looking ahead at your schedule? Obviously, as you referenced, Logan, the January, at the end of December, to the beginning of February, basically, so many games stuffed in. Now you guys have this nice kind of bridge to tonight's game, and then you get 4 more days off. But the opposition, I kind of know how you guys will answer this because I know every team, you get ready for every team, but I mean, you guys kind of had the meat grinder. Playing Calgary a lot, playing Tucson a lot, played Texas, they're a good team. But a lot of the upcoming schedule offers more off days and teams that are in the bottom 3 or 4 spots in what is still very tough Pacific Division. Does that interest you guys to look ahead at that at all, or is it just like game to game to game? Share with you.
Yeah, well, we do have a little, and we're home basically the whole month, more or less. We'll have a lot of time to work on our tans. So that's big.
Yeah.
Um,
You got a good base, a good mountain
yeah,
base. I don't know if
yeah.
you're on the Kihei
The
side,
islands,
but
yeah, I
mountain
was
side's
actually. I
okay.
was in
That
Wailea.
matters.
Yeah, so that was good. More to come. But then we just have a lot of rest. Quote of Andrew Podorowski's of the night was, "A well-rested bird flies higher." So I like that one a lot.
That's great.
I like that.
I feel bad for you.
That's
Yeah.
Great tonight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna have to put that, into action here. So, but it's good having the breaks. Like you said, January was grueling, um, and it's just nice to get out there. We'll have some practice time to work on some systems and just some touch-up stuff. But looks pretty good going forward here. We just got to make sure we capitalize and get points every weekend.
For you, Logan, the second part of the question, I guess, is that, does it matter to you, the teams that you're playing? I mean, the upcoming schedule offers a lot of the teams that are now toward the bottom. That's not a benefit you guys have had a lot over the previous 6 weeks, rather.
Yeah, like you said, it's pretty cliche to say, but no, it doesn't matter at all. Any team in this league can beat any other team any given night. So no, we prepare for every game the same, and we don't really worry about other teams too much. We know if we play our game, then we can obviously beat anyone in this division. So no, it doesn't matter who we're playing.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
Good tag team, Mo.
Yeah, that was
Good-
great.
Good stuff.
Back and forth.
We gotta do that more often, I think.
Yeah.
2-for-1.
it's
Your
kind of
predecessors had a
yeah,
had a
just
double. We had a double.
they did a double.
We did a double. Yeah, double was good. Double worked out well. As we asked the double, the break must have been good for most, if not all, the fireworks. The way that you guys came out tonight was extremely solid, man, end to end throughout the entire game. Did you get a sense going back to practice that fellas had a nice restful break and were ready to get back to work?
Yeah, we did. And I thought the focus was good. Getting right back into it. I thought the coaching staff did a nice job in terms of breaking down Henderson. In terms of we've had a little bit of a tough time with them this year. What might give us a better chance to win. I thought guys kind of bought into building a game, which earlier in the season at home was particularly trouble. And we're playing better hockey right now.
You said building the game.
Yeah, you need to do things that kind of starve the other team in terms of what they do well. Henderson's particularly a little bit more passive on the forecheck and high end rush team. And I thought we just did a better job managing pucks at our blue line and their blue line, which every team talks about. But when you do it, you give yourself a chance to kind of have your skill take over, which is what happened for us.
That seems almost even putting it mildly. I think you guys were in their zone this is hyperbole. It was like 50 minutes. I mean, it seemed like the entire we were kind of looking at each other to see if you were on power plays, but they were 5-on-5s. It's pretty dominating way to come off with six days of rest, man.
I mean, that's going to be the challenge for you want to play every team every night. That's our goal, and then making sure that you materialize those into wins is what's going to be the team that it's going to separate down the stretch here. And we have a focus group, we have a competitive team, and I think that shows after breaks and things like that. Guys weren't too silly and did what they had to do to feel rested and not like they needed another break. You know what I mean?
Given all your playing experience, you've probably seen all different kind of ways that a break can go. But when your team is playing well, eight games with the point, eight straight, and now 9 straight. But do you see at that you almost don't want the break when your team is playing well? I mean, what have you experienced when I guess when teams are doing well going into the break?
Well, in pro hockey, it feels like it's always time to pick it up and start dialing it in. Like that's, you get to preseason, you want to show up and get off to a good impression. And then the first 10 games are so important. And then American Thanksgiving is huge for the playoffs. So, breaks aren't fun if your team's not going well. You're sitting there thinking about, what hasn't been working. So, it tends to be in a high pressure, sport, high pressure business. You're chomping at the bit to just stay in it and stay in a rhythm. With the schedule's a schedule, and you can't spend too much time wrestling with it. And luckily we got off to a good run tonight.
You mentioned you had some tough games with Henderson before this one, but tonight it just seemed like there was a lot of open spaces, passing, tic-tac-toe. You guys were looking sharp out there. Is that what you saw? Why you felt like this difference?
Yeah, I thought that was it. I thought our puck play was particularly sharp, and I've been on both sides as a team when you're struggling with the puck, you're hedging, you're kind of joining rushes, but you're not sure if you're going to get it. You don't really have an opportunity to look past maybe the initial player who's behind you, and what's the goalie doing, what's the player behind him doing, because you're kind of being careful. You're really making sure. Versus when you're really crisp, there's a degree of you can start to worry about the next layer, and the game gets easier and easier. And as a team, I think that's what we did tonight. We just continue to make plays that made the game easier for the next guy. And then on the other side, Henderson, I think has some high end players, some good talents. They do some things that's given us a tough time in the past. We didn't let them have many reps to do that, and then you get one offensive look. It just feels a little stale, maybe feel hurried, that kind of thing.
The other guys talked about what they did on their vacation there. Did you go anywhere, or did you stick around?
I worked harder on the break. I went to Disneyland and grinded out through the rain, and my 3-year-old loved it. I loved it. My wife loved it. My mom and my mother-in-law came, so we had a really nice time. Yeah, hopefully a core memory, and we had a good time. Not enough pictures because of the rain, but that's on me. Yeah, where he was able to go on rides. I think he was 39.9 inches tall, so he was just tall enough to hit the 40-inch mark and get on a few. And You know, some he was afraid of, some he loved, and you know, it was really enjoyable. Yeah, sure was, sure was. Thanks, guys. Of course. Of course. Thank you.
Have you thought about the football game tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm not. But it'll be the first game I watch all year.
Oh,
To be
okay.
honest with you.
You're not that guy.
swing just like him too.
That's what I hear.
The secret is in the dirt.
1,000 swings.
Right? No, that was Ted Lyons.
No, it's Ben Hogan. Find your swing. Find your swing in 1,000 swings and in the dirt.
Secret is in the dirt. I wonder if the secret is in the ice. Anyway, there's no questions there yet. Only pitching
None.
commentary. As we said to players that preceded you, must have been a good break for your Gents because you came out looking terrific tonight. You must have been quite pleased that the fellas were ready to go out of break.
Yeah, I think the having that much time away from the ice and practicing and playing is a scary thing for a coach. So yeah, there was they played the previous night, got their break legs out from underneath them, and so it was a little concern going into this one that see how the break affected us, but good on the guys. Whatever you did in the break, it was a good thing, and if that was rest, then that was a good thing, and they they came out great and played great the whole 60 minutes.
I gotta imagine it's a challenge for you not just having all those days off, but now you just have this one game. Now you got 4 more days off, and you're overseeing this and doing this. You're in a 9-game point streak. A good challenge for you and your staff.
I think it's a little odd. We played a ton of games in January, and then you get the break 5, 6, 7 days without playing. Play one, and feels like you're still, still on the break. We got another 5 days before we play next week. So, but having had the break, I think the next 4 days is a good time for our team to get some practice in, and we'll break it up. We'll practice tomorrow before the Super Bowl, and then have a day off on Monday and practice on Tuesday and Wednesday to get the necessary work in.
Asked this to one of your players and gave the answer that you might anticipate, but just as far as looking ahead, not just on some more off days than you've had throughout January, when you guys played constantly, but the opponents. It's not going against Calgary every night. It's not going against Tucson every night, or Texas. I mean, you guys during that stretch not just played a bunch of games, but it's kind of a meat grinder of opponents. Now the opponents upcoming, more or less, I mean, are teams in the bottom 3 spots in your division. Is that something you pay attention to, or does it not matter?
Paid attention to the fact that we were 2, 3, and 1 against Henderson going into this game. They've handed us some losses, and they've handed us some difficult losses at times during this year, and even the previous game, the last game in Henderson, we got down 3-0 in that game, and we managed to battle back and win that game. But we've had a tough time with Henderson, regardless of what their record is or not. So that was a point of emphasis before the game, and you look forward to the schedule. Who do we play next? I didn't look farther ahead than this one.
Dovetailing off of that, Connor said, like you said, you've had some tough games with Henderson this year, and he said you specifically the coaches came up with sort of a new game plan or a different plan of attack that seems to work tonight. Is that true? What worked tonight that wasn't working against them before? Seemed like a lot of
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some uniqueness to the way Henderson plays and the way they've had success against us in the past, and I think over the last 2 games against them, you've seen us be able to have some success in our transition, success in the offensive zone, and that was a point of emphasis, and it kind of showed up almost immediately. Like you see the Morrison goals, They may have seen that clip before the game, or one just like it.
The guys were kind of talking about what they did on their break to rest, hang out with family, go on a trip. What about you? Did you do something like that?
No, I only thought about hockey sparingly. I will say my wife and I, we went to Salt Lake City. Saw our son lives in Salt Lake City, and I did some fishing. I did some skiing, and did my best to try not to think about hockey during that time. But it was just for the same as for the players. It was a good break, a good rest, a good break from hockey, and got to spend it with family and my son, and that was a good thing. Well, it was cold and there was snow on the ground, and I was tying a 26 hook on, and I had other things to think about. I caught one trout, yes. No, we were in Salt Lake City. I was fishing fishing. I got you. That's next week, Thursday.
We haven't talked about this year yet. Obviously, I know shutout always good. He didn't face a ton of shots, but he faced some toughies. I don't know how do you think he played tonight?
Yeah, I think the game was, I think the game over the course of the 60 minutes, I think we established our game and established the way we wanted to play, but it was still in doubt in the first period. They still had a couple of real good opportunities in the first, and Driggs was up to the task for all of them, and I think he had to make two really good ones in the third. My eyes got drawn away from the one, but I think it was a really big save there in the third period, and deservingly so, getting the shutout tonight. I like ours. That would go off.